Good morning. This is Carissa, your intuitive coach. And today we are coming from Landon, New Hampshire. And it's about 8 o'clock on a Sunday morning. So let's talk a little bit about control. So what is control? So for me, control is a thought that you have in your head of how a particular event or person or thing is going to play out. And it's like one stream of like, it's going to happen A, it's going to happen B, it's going to happen C, it's going to happen D. And it's just so like laser focused that like this is control, like this is exactly how it has to be. It has to be A, B, C, D in that order and that way in that particular time. No room for anything else. So that's a laser. The laser of control is also brought to you by fear, right? So if you're going in like full control mode, you're in full fear. So control equals fear. So you try to control another person, that's out of fear. You try to control an event, that's out of fear. So control is a laser beam of this has to happen this particular way, this person has to do this particular thing, and it has to happen this way, and if it doesn't, it's full freak out mode. So that's control. That's my definite control. I'm pretty sure that's not like Webster's dictionary definition of control, but we're going to roll with it. So control is just full fear mode. Full, this event has to happen this particular way. Versus a floodlight of all these different things are different ways that we could get to the end result that we're looking for. So if you find yourself in control, really kind of move to the end of the list and like, what are you looking for? What are you trying to bring in? Like, where is that final laser beam kind of tapped into? Like, what is that for you? What kind of control, like what's at the end of this rainbow here? Right? So control, and what exactly are you looking for? Spend some time with that. Are you looking to, have all these things done by a certain time so that way you can spend the rest of your day relaxing? Are you going to run around on a Saturday morning like a crazy nut trying to get everything done in time so you can spend the rest of the day relaxing? I know that's something that sometimes I try to do. You're like, well, that's not fair because that whole time I'm just like rushing around like a crazy nut, not enjoying myself. I'm sitting in a little bit of anxiety because I want something done by a particular time. So I'm starting to feel like anxious, let's say. Like, I'm feeling anxious now, so the rest of the day I can relax. Well, maybe I just chill out, get my stuff done naturally, not in a psychopath short period of time, and just relax and let the day fold as it may. Right, so that's more of a floodlight, spending some time in what you're looking to call in, that happy end result, spending some time with that, looking at, what do you want? Like, I'm going to run around like a crazy nut trying to get everything done so I can go to the beach and relax. Okay, well, going to the beach and relaxing is that happy end result, but like the feelings and the vibes are relaxing at the beach. So relaxing. So feeling like relaxed and just, right? So why can't I just shift into that right now? And from that place, accomplishing all the things that need to be accomplished. From that place of relaxation, that place of not fighting with time, not fighting with people, not having something done in a particular way because it's the most time efficient, versus like, I just am going to be in joy, I'm going to be relaxed, and my day plays out how it may, and I am looking forward to reading a book at the beach later. Right, that's going to be a lot different, right? So what's at the end of this rainbow? Like, what is this? What are you looking for? Like, there's a particular event or a thing, yes, but what is the vibe that you want this created in? Do you want this created in fear? Do you want this created in low levels of consciousness? That push and pull and just that energetic tags of heaviness and reaction and contraction? Or do you want it to be, your day filled with expansion, creativity, and you not telling the universe how to make things happen? So control, to me, is you're just telling the universe that you know better than the universe. Like, okay, universe, today I'm looking for joy and expansion and just like lightness and fun. And when I'm in that laser beam of control, I'm in fear and force and pull and take. And my happy end result is way over here at the end of all these accomplishments when they're done, versus me syncing up to that, like joy, elegance, relaxation, just kind of getting things done as they may. That is just stringing those all the way through my day, versus me trying to force certain things, wearing a particular label or a particular energy tag to it, and just continuing to replicate that and replicate that and replicate that. So, what is that happy end result? What does that final slide look like? As a mom, like, sometimes my goal is to just make it to my bed by the end of the day. And of course there's these things that have to happen within that time slot. There's a child that we have to get off to school. There's certain work tasks that need to be done. Dinner needs to happen as well too. Maybe there's some evening activities. So like, okay, my goal is to get to my bed this evening, but the vibe that, when my feet hit the bed at 10 o'clock, let's be real, 9:30, when my feet hit the bed, like, what did I want for that day, or what do I want for that moment? Like, I just want to be like in surrender and like, oh, that was a good day. Like, I really got to bond with my son. I really was able to kind of move through a couple projects. I was able to have a dinner in which there was some great conversation, and I ate some healthy food, and my body is just like jazzed up. And my head hits the pillow, and I'm just like, wow, that was just an expansive day, versus me just trying to get to the finish line of pillow, bed. So that's a little different, right? So really just kind of working with the universe and letting the universe know that you trust it, right? So I'm in a trust fall with the universe. To the degree of which I trust the universe is the degree of which it shows up. So, let's say I trust the universe 80%. Well, the universe is going to show up 80%. And the reason why it maybe for me wouldn't show up 100% is I still have some blocks in there. I still have some of like that old history and patterns that I'm dragging with me to this moment, like my old stories. Like, I can think of like just times in my life where you're like, that wasn't awesome, right? But then when you look at it, you're like, wow, actually, I think I did learn some lessons from that. So, maybe there's still some old stories in there that you can kind of shake through and get to 90% and then 95. Maybe there's some lessons that you still need to learn to get the next leg of the journey. But the universe shows up to the degree in which you trust the universe. So I'm working on trusting the universe. Like, the universe has my back. I set my intention. I put my attention there, and I select the vibes that I just want to get to that end result with, and I just walk forward in that. And a lot of times, it's the people that you kind of feel like maybe get in the way, but those are maybe your teachers. Those are people that are to continue to show you that there's a world of endless possibilities. Or maybe they're there to show you of this was your old way of doing it. So control is definitely out of fear, but really working with I am choosing. I am choosing to be in a trust fall of the universe, and the degree to which I trust the universe is the degree to which the universe shows up. I live in a world of infinite possibilities, and the universe might have something a million times better selected for me. And so I'm going to set my intention. I'm going to put my intention there, and I'm going to stay connected and aligned, and I'm just going to keep walking forward to the vibes that I'm calling in, right? So if I feel stuck, maybe I have a label that something's going to be hard, versus, the label of what would it take to make this easy? What would it take to make this 10 times easier than I could ever possibly imagine? Versus walking in with a label of this is going to be hard. Oh, this is going to be fun. I get to learn a new skill. Oh, this is going to be fun. I get to do this activity. I get to move my body, and I get to jam to some music. Right? I got to move some wood around later. I'm actually looking forward to it because I get to put some music on. I get to move my body. I get to be in nature. Some people have been oh, I gotta fire wood and move some branches around and work on clearing. But I'm creating, versus if I was to go into reaction mode. I'm creating this awesome experience where I get to listen to my books on tape, and I get to move my body, and I get to connect with nature and connect with the lot and the land. So the other part of control that comes up too is the control of other people. This is a tricky one. So the control of other people could even be the labels. So I can feel when people put labels on me. Right, I can tell when people think a certain thing about me by, how I look or how I talk, and then you're kind of communicating energetically and verbally with this label in the middle, right? So I can feel it when people do it to me. I'm less conscious of me doing it to people, but I'm starting to become more aware of that. So if I work on taking the labels off, if I work on me, so a relationship is all about your beingness showing up in that relationship. It's not about the other person and what they're doing and what they're saying and trying to move them to a particular outcome that you're looking to get, So removing the labels from them. Right? Like the labels we put on our kids. Oh, he's just lazy, or oh, he doesn't want to do that, or, whatever those labels are, they can feel that. You might even verbalize that. Ooh. Right? So the labels other people put on you, you can feel that. You can feel that within an interaction, and then you come within that space with that label sitting in the middle of you versus, no label. Or maybe we're not to the point where no label, so maybe we put on a better label. What's the highest vibration that maybe they could show up as, or you've seen them as, that you could put in there. So like I've been working on this, and I'm trying to like, oh, this person in the past, when they do this, that then leads to this. And then like my survivor brain will be like, okay, this goes down this rabbit hole and this thing, so I have to start watching out for this. Versus, oh, that was just like a reaction to something, or, not having that label of where things are going to go, or the conversations that are going to come up, or when this happens, this fight happens, or when the dishes aren't put away, this happens. So trying to remove those labels will then continue to put you closer to, I live in a world of endless possibilities. Family's a great one, right? So I have siblings. So the labels that I put on my siblings, oh, this person always shows up like this. This is just who they are. But let's say that label is bad. And so I put that label in between us. Oh, when this person comes in from out of town, this is the vibe that's happened the past 3 times. And it's just been like an unpleasant, energetic exchange. I'm just using an example. It's not really what's happening, I promise. But, let's say, like, ugh. So then you're walking and going, ugh, right? Like, you can feel that. If I was the other person on the end of the ugh, you can feel that. So loosening up that grip of control, loosening up that to-do list. Maybe that to-do list can get done quicker, but you only see it as boom, 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 right? So just loosening up the grip of control, loosening up the labels that you put on yourself, loosening up the labels that you put on other people, just getting into that expansiveness and not going down the rabbit hole, which is laser focus of fear and control, and it has to happen this particular way. So you live in a world of endless possibilities. You set your intention, you put your attention there, and you walk forward. So I am choosing to be in a trust fall with the universe. I am choosing to move towards 100% trusting the universe. And the universe is going to show up for me 100%. I am choosing to put on the energetic vibrations of what I'm calling in ahead of time. I am choosing to look at my happy end result, looking at those feelings and vibrations, and I'm choosing to wear those now. My happy end result is now. It's also in the future, and I'm going to continue walking in the direction of those vibes. But I'm putting my future happy end result vibes on now. I'm not going to live in control. I'm not going to live in labels. I live in a world of endless possibilities. And that feels 1,000,000 times more expansive. That takes out reaction. That takes out contraction. And anything that comes up right in that moment of why you can't, that needs to be let go. First, it needs to be loved, right? So, like, I'm calling in the vibes for today of relaxation and joy and just like fun nature vibes. And any excuse or reason that I can't have that, first needs to be loved and then needs to be let go of. So I actually can't think of a reason why I couldn't have that today, right? So I know there's a couple things that need to get done. I'm looking forward to doing them. Yeah. But it's Sunday, so I have the space to do that. So let's put on Monday, you know? So tomorrow, my intentions for tomorrow are going to be like productivity, right? Like it's Monday. There's things that need to happen on Monday, right? The Monday things that need to happen. And a lot of them are just kind of checking some boxes, right? So what would it take for me to kind of communicate with everybody I need to communicate efficiently and effectively and be lavish with my knowledge and my time, but in a manner in which, there's an even energy exchange, if not everybody leaving in a higher vibe. Me getting through the items that I need to get through. I'm open to those getting done efficiently and effectively, but at the same point, the universe could make that happen differently if it would like. I'm okay with that, But let's say like something comes up, Let's say things always come up, right? So something comes up that's not part of the plan. It's not scheduled in. Something that's going to take a bit of time. How can I use this to my advantage? Right? So rather than going down the rabbit hole of like the freak out of, I don't have time for this wasn't in the plan, this just needs to go away. That push-pull, versus, okay, how can I use this to my advantage? What advantage is in here? What angle am I not seeing? How can I keep my attention floodlight so that way I'm open to endless possibilities of how it plays out? So as soon as something comes up, advantage. You might not know how. You probably aren't going to know how right away. But just mentally going down advantage and staying with that floodlight. So not going to that laser beam of things have to happen this particular way and I'm so upset this is going to totally ruin my schedule and my day is ruined because of this. We've all been there, right? Versus advantage, advantage, advantage. I might not see it now, but there's an advantage here. There's always an advantage. There's an advantage. So the universe has my back. I live in a world of infinite possibilities, and how can I use this to my advantage? Maybe I'm putting a label on something, and maybe this is the opportunity to remove that label, right? So how can I use this to my advantage? So sticking with the floodlight, continuing to be a creator in the body, continuing to be expansive. So when you are in control, does it feel expansive or contractive? Probably contractive, right? What are the consequences of these thoughts, right? I'm telling the universe how things need to happen because I know better than the universe. Or I live in a world of infinite possibilities. I am creating a day of moving the needle forward, of joy, elegance, and grace, amazing connections, expansiveness, growth, and opportunity. That feels different. That feels more in line to what I'm calling in, right? So staying out of that laser beam of control and going into the expansive possibilities of using everything to your advantage. Everything that comes up, advantage. I know sometimes I'll get frustrated when I get like 6 phone calls in a row. You're like, okay, hey, you see my frustration. I allow my frustration to be in this space because it's already here. I'm not going to push it away. I'm going to let it go because I'm just having this thought. I'm not this thought. I have the ability to choose a new thought. I don't like the consequences of this thought. And, from here, maybe there's opportunity, those 6 phone calls in a row. What's the advantage? Maybe the advantage is for me to ask for some help, and maybe the person that I asked for help from really was needing that opportunity or needing to learn that thing. Maybe that expanded out their opportunity, right? So what is the advantage? There's an advantage. You just got to spend some time there. Really looking at your intention. What is your intention? What are you calling in? What do you need to calibrate to? You're putting those feelings on ahead of time and you're staying there. That happy end result, even if it doesn't come, you are in those vibes all day long. Like, it's okay. If my happy end result doesn't happen today, let's say it happens tomorrow, I don't know, but I got to spend all day in the vibe of lavishly sharing knowledge and the vibe of joy and the vibe of, being helpful and the vibe of just ease and elegance. Like, that's still an advantage, So that's how I show up. I am choosing to be the type of person who picks my vibe. Like the other day, yesterday, I was mountain biking and we're going up this crazy hill and I kept getting frustrated and I'm like, okay, like I know I'm getting frustrated. I can feel I'm getting frustrated. I keep getting hung up on a rock. Then I have to hike a bike up a little bit and I'm getting frustrated because my skill level maybe isn't where it was because I haven't mountain biked for, like 2 or 3 weeks. So I'm just like a little out of the flow. And then I was like, okay, I don't have to be frustrated. Like, I'm choosing to be frustrated. I have this beautiful view. I'm in the woods. I'm spending time, getting a little sweaty. Like, it's okay. Like, maybe I have to hike a bike a little bit more than I wanted to, but, if that knocks me out of frustration, great. Maybe the advantage is I get to, look at nature a little bit more, or, maybe I was going to fall because I was getting frustrated and I prevented that from happening. I don't know, whatever the case might be, but I was like, oh, there's frustration. Okay, I can release that. I had the grip of control that, like, I wanted to get up the mountain on my mountain bike without getting off. Right? Like, I was trying to control it. I wasn't giving myself room for ease, elegance, and grace. Right? So my happy end result really was just the top of the mountain. I didn't think about the vibe that I wanted to have while going up the mountain. Right? So what if it's not about the destination? It's about the journey. Right? So I kept like, okay, I'm in frustration. Okay, let's release frustration. I can pick my vibe. My vibe is I get to spend some time in the woods, get to hike a bike a little, I get to pedal a little, I get to get my sweat on, I get to enjoy an amazing view at the top, and I get to know this new town where the land's in, right? Like, I'm frustrated over this tiny little thing that I wanted to happen a particular way. And I kept knocking myself out of that and really focusing on, my vibe in the moment and the vibe at the end, and continuing to close that gap between the two of them and just re-choosing and re-choosing and re-choosing, because it's all choice. It's just making a choice. We can do anything, but we have to make the choice. We can do anything, but we have to make the choice. Loosen the grip of control. Loosen the labels. Become a creator in a body. Set your intention. Really pay attention and be grateful. Just full gratitude. And make everything to your advantage. You might not see it in that moment, but everything is an advantage. Stay expansive, stay expansive, stay expansive. I hope you have an amazing, expansive